Sonic the Hedgehog 4 was officially announced even before the release of the third film, and now insiders are already sharing early details about what to expect. And here's the big one. The movie might actually lean into a romantic comedy vibe. Why? Because Amy Rose is making her full debut, and if you saw the post-credit scene of Sonic 3, you know she's about to shake things up. In the original games, Amy was always openly in love with Sonic, but their relationship never fully developed into something romantic. The movies, however, are taking a different approach, and to make it even bigger, Paramount is reportedly looking to cast a major Hollywood star for the role. According to Insider My Time to Shine Hello, Amy might be played by none other than Scarlett Johansson. Honestly, that wouldn't be too surprising, considering previous castings like Idris Elba as Knuckles and even Keanu Reeves joining the franchise. So, seeing a big-name step in for Amy is totally on brand for Paramount at this point. Meanwhile, let's talk about the big question on everyone's mind, Jim Carrey. Despite his previous claims that he might retire from acting, insiders insist that he's definitely coming back as Robotnik. And honestly, we all knew there was no way Sonic 4 would happen without him. Reports say the overall vibe of the movie will be similar to Toy Story 4 or True Lies, meaning we're in for a mix of action, heart, and comedy, with a strong focus on the evolving relationship between Sonic and Amy. The movie's logo even teases her importance, with the number 4 highlighted in pink. Director Jeff Fowler confirmed they've been planning to introduce Amy and Metal Sonic for a long time. They even considered bringing them into Sonic 2, but the story was already packed with too many characters, so they decided to save them for later. And now, the time has finally come. But here's where things get really interesting. Insiders claim that Sonic 4 will feature time travel. That's right, Paramount is seemingly adapting elements from Sonic CD, the game that originally introduced both Metal Sonic and Amy. However, unlike in a game where Sonic had to rescue Amy, this time she's not just a damsel in distress. She's going to be one of the central characters. As for Metal Sonic, he's the main villain this time around. Of course, that raises another big question. How is Jim Carrey's Robotnik still around? Sonic 3 made it seem like Eggman was completely done for. I mean, getting blown up in space isn't exactly something you walk away from. But come on, this is a Sonic movie. We all know death isn't exactly permanent, especially for a character as over-the-top as Robotnik. Even screenwriter Patrick Casey joked that Eggman is definitely dead, unless he's not. So yeah, they're clearly leaving the door open for Carrey's return. One of the most likely ways they'll bring him back is an alternate version of Robotnik from a different timeline. Leaked concept art from Sonic 3 actually gives us a glimpse of what they originally had in mind for the ending. One piece of concept art shows Eggman as a kind of dark overlord, with Metal Sonic by his side as his loyal general. This seems like a direct homage to the dark future storyline, where the villains take control of the world, just like in Sonic CD. The heroes will likely be traveling across different versions of the future and past, trying to stop an alternate Eggman and Metal Sonic from reshaping reality. And Amy? She's shown as a resistance fighter in this dystopian world, standing as a symbol of rebellion against the regime. So yeah, she's definitely not just playing the love interest. She's a full-fledged hero. Time travel opens up some incredibly exciting possibilities. Amy could be from the future, specifically a post-apocalyptic timeline ruled by Eggman and an army of Metal Sonics. In this world, the planet has been turned into a wasteland after years of robotic domination, and hope is nearly lost. In a last-ditch effort to stop Eggman's rise to power, Amy travels back in time, hoping to prevent the events that would lead to this bleak future. Her mission: protect Sonic from a time-traveling threat, maybe an even more dangerous version of Eggman, or perhaps a new villain manipulating the timeline to guarantee Eggman's victory. Or maybe it's Sonic himself who gets thrown into the dark future by accident, forcing him to find a way out. In Sonic 4, either way, the story is shaping up to be bigger and bolder than anything we've seen so far. In Sonic CD, the storyline revolves around Sonic fighting Robotnik's attempts to control the Time Stones, mystical artifacts that give their wielder power over time itself. The game's time travel mechanics allowed players to explore past and future versions of the same world, and Metal Sonic served as Eggman's ultimate weapon. In Sonic 4, Metal Sonic will be the main villain. The post-credit scene from Sonic 3 showed an entire army of them, but somewhere out there's got to be a leader, the real Metal Sonic commanding the army. If that's the case, then Sonic 4 could end up feeling a lot like Age of Ultron, with an unstoppable robotic force threatening the world. Of course, plans at Paramount can always change before filming begins, but right now, it looks like they're going all in on a high-stakes, time travel-driven storyline. And if that's the case, it gives them the perfect excuse to bring back Carrey's Robotnik while also expanding the Sonic universe in a major way. In a recent interview with Kita, screenwriters Pat Casey and Josh Miller were asked if they're ready to keep the franchise going beyond Sonic 4. Their response? A confident yes. They pointed to the game's vast lore, saying there's still plenty of material left for future sequels. Miller even hinted that they might explore Sonic's origins in a new light, teasing elements of his past that haven't been revealed yet. He also admitted that Sonic 3 had to keep its story grounded on Earth, but moving forward, they're excited to take things beyond that. This means Sonic 4 could finally be the movie that delivers on that promise. Meanwhile, Sega has been open to bold ideas for the films, especially since they've been crushing it at the box office and resonating with fans. And if all goes well, we're likely getting a Shadow spin-off too. With Paramount and Sega still working closely together, this franchise is just getting started. Stay tuned.